Welcome back to another video. I feel like it's been so long since I've made a video, probably because it has been, but this video, as you can read by the title, is about my 2-week wait and what I did differently this cycle. That disclaimer, I'm not sure if it actually helped, but I did change up a few things. So first things first, to all my fellow TTCers, my prayers go out to you. I'm hoping that everybody's having a wonderful day, and we're gonna get right into the video. Okay, so this cycle, this time around, something I did differently that I didn't do last cycle was I've been drinking a tea, and you know what, I actually threw away the box, but I'm gonna actually put a picture in so you guys know the specific brand I'm talking about. It's a brand called Yogi, I believe, or Yoga, one of the two, and it's pretty much, it's to help moms to be get their body ready. And I drank this tea once a day. The instructions on the box say that you're supposed to drink it, I think it's 2 or 3 times a day, but I only had one cup of tea every morning with my prenatal vitamin as per usual, and I would eat my regular breakfast. And that's one of the things that I did differently was the tea. Also, I started to take my basal body temperature, and I found this to be helpful because I could see my temperature rising, so I knew exactly when I was ovulating, which definitely helped. I also did, so horrible, I also took OPKs, which I did last cycle, but now I understood how to use them better. And it was really interesting this cycle, only because on my app that I use to track my ovulation and my period, it was off on my ovulation. So for a lot of people, my advice to you specifically with that is to make sure and double check. Just keep taking your OPKs and wait until you get like a really strong surge. I think that's really important, and it's not a step to skip, because for me, I ovulated the week after. It was like 4 days after my app told me I was gonna ovulate, I ovulated. So, and it was because I kept taking OPKs because I never got the strong line that I really was looking for. So that's something that I did differently. I did that because in my last cycle I noticed that I was taking OPKs still after I thought I had ovulated. I was a little confused, and I got a surge on the following week. So sometimes women ovulate later than, I guess, what is the typical ovulation time. So you know what, just definitely make sure you keep track, like a proper track of your surge, just so that you can baby dance as much as possible. In that time frame, my husband and I baby danced pretty much every day up until my surge was gone. So that's something we did differently as well. And we tried to do it at different times of the day. So usually we would baby, this is a little TMI, but we would normally baby dance at night, but we tried to do it different times of the day just to see if that would help us. Something else I did differently this cycle was, and I know it's hard, but I just didn't put stress on myself. Like last cycle, I was really stressed out, really anxious, really impatient, and yes, all those things may still have been going on within me, but I wasn't letting it get to a point where it was taking over, if you understand. So it's really important that you just kind of take it easy and just let God be in control, because that's what I did. One thing I really definitely did was Kadeem and I prayed with each other. Every time we would baby dance, we would pray. And it may sound corny and some people may not believe in it, but I believe it worked for us. That, you know, God gives life, and so we prayed about it. Every time we baby dance, we asked God to bless my womb with a baby. So that's definitely something we didn't do last time that we did this time. Anything else I did differently this cycle? No, those were the only 2 things. I also tried 2 different brands. I did 2 different type of OPKs. So I did First Response, and I did the internet cheapies that you get on Amazon. And I did both of them just to compare to see if I would if they're compatible and if it's, you know, if it works. And I would 100% recommend you to use First Response OPKs. And a lot of people have different things to say about it, but for me, it gave me my surge. It told me when I wasn't, when I was getting up to it, and it gave me my surge. So I would definitely, First Response is not only good for pregnancy tests, but the OPK tests are definitely helpful. I found it to be a lot more helpful for me personally than the Clear Blue Digital that I used my last cycle, that I never really got a surge on that. So those are some things that I tried differently, and just taking it easy, you know, like relaxing. Yes, I have 2 toddlers, but you know, just trying to get as much rest on the body as possible, because you know, when your body is stressed out, it may or may not make it harder. I don't know. But yeah, so disclaimer, that's just those are the different things that I did differently this cycle. Now getting into symptoms that I've noticed through 1 DPO right through to 6 DPO. So this is not in specific order as it happened to me. I just jotted it down so that I wouldn't forget. So some things tell you specifically what day, some things are just things I experienced and I wrote down. So one of the main things is I was having pain in my back on my left side. So right on this side of my body, like it was just so painful, and it wasn't right across my back, it was literally just on the one side. So I knew when I had ovulated, and because I felt the same pain, and then it was like a consistent pain on the one side after my ovulation had passed. Sensitive to smell. Oh my gosh. So when I was pregnant with the girls, this was definitely a big thing for me, being sensitive to smell. And I noticed it almost right away, like as soon as, so here's the thing is, I smell things, yes, obviously, but not like my husband per se, where he smells everything. Like he's different that way. But for me, and I just started to everything was bothering my nose. I could literally smell everything around me. So for me, that was a big indicator that, okay, something is definitely happening. And as soon as it happened, I was just like, okay. I felt really good. Going into the cycle, I felt really good. I felt really positive, because I believe that the Lord spoke to me and then my families and friends and let me know that it's going to happen for me. And yeah, so we're just in that process. Got really tired. So I mean, I'm a mom of 2 girls, and very active girls, but I got tired to the point where I would literally be like watching something, and all of a sudden I would just fall asleep, and I would wake up through hearing myself snoring. And it was weird, because I was just like, I swear 5 seconds ago I was awake, and then all of a sudden I was sleeping. So for me, that was a big one for me. My body just feeling really lazy and tired, and that's definitely something that stood out to me during my 2-week wait. And then I'm very emotional. So I would be watching maybe like birth videos on YouTube, or somebody taking a pregnancy test on YouTube, and all of a sudden I would start crying. There was one time when I'm watching a birth video and I literally started crying, and my husband's looking at me like, what are you, like, what's going on? Like, what's going on? Why are you crying? You're getting emotional. So so that happened, and yeah. So this one may be a little bit weird for some people, but I took it as a sign, because it's something that happened when I was first pregnant. So I was cuddling with my husband, and yes, we cuddle, but we get hot in our sleep, so we're not people that cuddle through the entire night or anything of that by any means. So there was one night when I literally I felt like I just needed to cuddle with him, and I literally was cuddling with him, and I think I fell asleep before him. And the reason I say that I took this as a symptom, and I don't believe that this would be something for everybody or anybody other than myself, is because with my first child, my husband and I used to cuddle every night. In order for me to fall asleep, I needed that contact with him, so we needed to be close together in order for me to fall asleep. So that was something that I really looked at like, oh, true. True. Okay, girl. Okay. Another one is, and my list is kind of long, so I'm gonna try to go through these as quick as possible. My dark areola. So for you, those of you who don't know, who haven't watched any of my videos, I was successful with getting Areola off of breastfeeding. So Areola is now officially off of my boobs, and I believe it was on Glow on my app when somebody had said they used vinegar to wean their baby off, and oh my gosh, it was so rough, and it literally took a week. Like, she doesn't come to me and ask me anymore, but I think that definitely helped me this cycle. That's something I didn't mention earlier, and I'm sorry, but I'm not breastfeeding anymore, and I wasn't breastfeeding through my entire ovulation period at all. So that's something, again, disclaimer, that I think may have worked for me, God willing. Yeah, so I noticed that my areolas are dark, and I've been breastfeeding for so long that I kind of just, I don't know, I don't really look at my nipples like that to say, oh my gosh, whatever, but I've been noticing. I'm like, okay, so people said that's a symptom that they experience, so I said, okay, well, I took an interest and I looked at it and I'm like, I think it's darker. So I compared mine to my sister's. I know, TMI, that may be weird, but she's my sister, she's my best friend, it doesn't make a difference. We share the same DNA. Anyway, so I compared them, and mine was definitely bigger and darker than hers, so there's that. Headaches. I kept getting headaches on and off just randomly through the day, and that's not a norm for me like it may be for some people, so that's definitely something I noticed. Sore throbs in my lower area, so they didn't feel like cramps, it was just my lower area has just been very sore, and it just feels, that's the best way I can describe it, just very sore down there. And oh, this one is definitely one of the bigger ones, heartburn. So if you've ever been pregnant and you have experienced heartburn while pregnant, it is no joke. Like, it is legitimately no joke. Let me tell you, no joke. Anyway, so for the past couple nights, I've noticed that in the nighttime, I'll just wake up and my heart will literally just be burning. And I'll literally have to catch my breath. And that's another symptom. It's like they kind of went hand in hand together, where I get short of breath. Like, I'll literally get up and it's almost like my heart, it's just this pressure on my heart, and I'm like literally trying to catch my breath. Meanwhile, my chest is burning me. And it lasts for maybe 20 to 30 seconds. So it's nothing like detrimental to my life, but it's something that's definitely noticeable for me. And I just woke up in my sleep with my chest burning. And, you know, that happened to me about 3 nights in a row. So when I was pregnant with both my girls, I got really bad heartburn, and I don't get heartburn like ever. So that's definitely something I noticed that was different for me. So this one's a little bit weird. So I got like odd muscle contractions at the top of my bum, and when I say that, it wasn't in my lower back, it was literally like the top of my bum, and it was just one day randomly, like it was like this weirdest muscle contraction, and then it went away. And I've never experienced that before, so that was something different that I noticed. And then sharp twingy pains on my left side. So again, I was mentioning I had back pains in my left side, so now in my front side I was getting these little twinges. It's like almost like my uterus was contracting, and I could literally feel it, and I was like, this is different, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's so interesting to me that when you're TCCing, that the things you notice about your body because you're paying attention, it's so interesting, all the different things that a woman's body goes through. It's insane. It's, girl, okay. And then this is one I hear a lot of people say they have, and I was like, I don't know, but then it happened to me and I was like, true. Vivid dreams, and I had one the other night. Literally, I had 2 dreams. I can't tell you what they're about, but in the dream, I'm literally laying in the bed, and I wake up like because the dream feels like it's so real, and I wake up so quick out of my sleep that I literally don't remember what I was dreaming about. But I was just like, that was so intense. Like, I wake up and I'm surprised at where I am because that's not where I was in the dream. And that's what I mean by vivid dream. It was just, I mean, I dream, but these dreams were just really real. And that's something that's different for me. And then the last one was, again, this one is TMI, my CM smell. So when I was pregnant with my girls, this is something that I definitely noticed a lot, especially if you're sensitive to smell. You can smell your CM, and if you can't, then I don't know, maybe it's me. Comment down below if you've been pregnant before and that's something that is it normal? Because I think it's normal. But yeah, so I could smell the CM, and it wasn't like normal, how my normal CM smelled. The smell was so specific, and it's like, I know this scent, and I don't want to say, oh my gosh, I'm pregnant just because of the smell, but it's like just such a familiar thing for me, because when I was pregnant, it used to irritate me that I could smell it, and it was just whatever. But it's a very, very familiar smell. And yeah, so those were definitely all the different symptoms I've noticed in the 2-week wait, and all the things that I did differently this cycle. So yeah, I'm hoping that this video was helpful, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you haven't already subscribed to my page, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, and please, please, please leave a comment down below and let me know your thoughts. If you're a fellow TTCer, I would love to hear about your journey, and definitely stay tuned to hear the rest about cycle number 2. I love you guys. Peace.